Hello guys, this is my first video back from my Christmas break. I had a nice Christmas, got a lot of great stuff. But I'm back here for you to continue my Starrcade review series with Starrcade 1996. We are this Starrcade aired on December the 29th, 1996. From the Municipal Auditorium in Nashville, Tennessee. There were 8 matches on this card, so the maximum number of stars is 40. We open up with a 9-belt match, which is a unification match for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship and the J Crown Championship. That in 1996, New Japan Pro Wrestling had this tournament to unify all the Cruiserweight Championships in the world, but not the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. Ultimo Dragon won that championship. WCW booked him against Dean Malenko for the Cruiserweight Championship, so we have this 9-belt match. We kick this off, and it's Dean Malenko versus the Ultimo Dragon. 3.5 stars here. Very good match. In fact, it's the best match on this card. By a half a star, it's the best match on this card. This is not a traditional cruiserweight match because, you know, a traditional cruiserweight match would be a lot of high-flying moves and, you know, high spot finish kind of thing. Well, since you're dealing with 2 cruiserweights who can do more technical stuff, you get some more technical stuff here, and it makes it a different cruiserweight match. Now, fans will probably say that were there will probably say this match was boring because it was not the traditional WCW cruiserweight match. But Dean Malenko was not a traditional cruiserweight, nor was the Ultimo Dragon in essence. Nor was the Ultimo Dragon in a way. Like I said, they were both fairly technical cruiserweights, and it shows here. This is a fairly good wrestling match in terms of straight-up technical action. Dragon wins with a Tiger Suplex and gets the win and gets the 9 titles. 3.5 stars, very good match, very good opener. So our next match is the WCW Women's Championship Tournament Final, Madusa versus Akira Hokuto. Some history here. At the very end of 1995, Madusa had came into WCW, and she dropped the Women's Championship in the WWF Women's Championship in the garbage can. The WWF Women's Championship would lay dormant until the year 2001, until the year 1998 when it was brought back. WCW then, near the end of '96, decided to make the Women's Championship, which was a title they were going to create and center around Madusa. Except, well, needless to say, she never won the championship. And then, they tried to turn Madusa into China, and that didn't work either. So, this match here is a Women's Championship final between Madusa and Akira Hokuto, who is the wife of Kensuki Sasake. Not that good of a match. I mean, it's better than women's matches today are, but women's matches today aren't much of anything. But this is a 1-star match, so it's not bad, it's not great, it's a decent match. It's 1 star with Hokuto winning after interference from Sonny Oono. So, they should have had a clean finish. Tournament finals need clean finishes, but of the 2 tournament finals on this show, both of them do not have clean finishes. So 1 star, Hokuto won. It probably should have been Madusa. Next match is another cruiserweight match. Jushin Thunder Liger in his 4th Starrcade versus Rey Mysterio Jr., who was making his Starrcade debut here. Good match here, 3 stars. This is the one that is just slightly a half a star worse than the opener match. It's a great match, and again, not a traditional cruiserweight match because Liger could do more than, you know, the high spots that most cruiserweights do. Liger could do different, you know, he could mix it up with the technical stuff too, because he could go into the heavyweight division. Liger wins with the Liger Bomb, and it's a very good 3-star match. This is Liger's 4th and final Starrcade. His record at Starrcade is 3-1, with his only loss coming in 1992 as a part of Battle Bowl. And if you count the Battle Bowl Battle Royal from 91, it's, yeah, if you, 3-2 is counting the Battle Bowl in 91 that he was in, because he had 5 total Starrcade matches counting that Battle Royal, so 3-2 total. But he wins here. Next match is a no disqualification match. So if you're counting of the 4 matches so far, if you count title matches and stipulation matches, this is 3 of the opening 4 matches have some kind of stipulation on, if you count title matches. This is a no disqualification match. Jeff Jarrett versus Beniot. 2 stars. It's an okay match, but it's a tad bit overbooked. Because you have Arn Anderson, he comes out, he DTs Jeff Jarrett on the floor. At the same time, Kevin Sullivan hits Beniot in the back of the head with a wooden chair, which breaks the wooden chair. And then Anderson rolls Jarrett in, and Jarrett ends up covering Beniot for the 1-2-3. So, plus you had other members of Dungeon Doom came down and all this, so that's why this is, in my opinion, a tad bit overbooked. It's an okay match, 2 stars, nothing special. Let me put it that way. Next match is the WCW World Tag Team Championship match. The Outsiders versus the Faces of Fear. So essentially this is 2 heel teams, but the Outsiders, in a way, used the formulaic tag team formula of the, let's call it the Face in Peril thing. Because the Faces of Fear don't look like they could do that. So they used the Outsiders essentially for that part of this match, as that with Scott Hall being that particular thing. It's still a heel versus heel match, but because of the NWO storyline, you could get away with this. It's a 1.5-star match, and the Outsiders win and retain the tag titles. Something that would become a trend with the Outsiders is they would find a way to keep these guys at the tag titles for a very long time. Because they lost them, won them back by other things. In 2 straight pay-per-views, they would lose the titles and then win them, and then get them handed back on some weird technicality that Eric Bischoff came up with. But I'll get to that if I ever review those 2 shows, which are NWO Sold Out and Super Brawl 7. Which, if I were to review Super Brawl 7, it would be in a Super Brawl review series, which I may do for February. I don't know yet. But 1.5 stars. Next match is the finals of the WCW United States Championship Tournament. Diamond Dallas Page versus Eddie Guerrero. History surrounding this. Ric Flair was the U.S. champion. He defeated Conan at the 1996 Bash at the Beach. But the NWO assaulted him, injured his shoulder, and stole the title. So because Ric Flair could not defend the championship, they stripped him of the title and held a tournament for it. But the NWO still kept saying that the Giant was the United States champion, but they had this tournament to crown who doesn't recognize the U.S. champion because the Giant was not recognized. So it's Diamond Dallas Page versus Eddie Guerrero, 1.5-star match. Finish comes the Outsiders when Scott Hall gives the Outsider Edge DDP and Eddie Guerrero frog splashes, and then Hall, Nash, and Syxx assault Eddie Guerrero and then steal the title again. I've always believed that tournament finals most of the time need a clean finish, unless you plan to continue this past something. They did not continue Diamond Dallas Page, Eddie Guerrero after this. Page went on to turn face and feud with Randy Savage in 97, and Guerrero would turn heel in 97. So, that's the only time a tournament final should ever have a weird finish, is if you plan to continue the feud. Kind of like what, you know, it's Survivor Series 98 with The Rock and Mankind. That tournament final, in essence, made sense because they continued the feud after that. So it made sense to do tournament final that way. If it's a one-shot tournament final, in my opinion, should always be a clean finish. And this wasn't. So our next match was Lex Luger versus the Giant. For a Lex Luger match, not bad. This is a 2.5 star match. Again, no, there's interference in it from Sting. He comes in, whispers something to Lex Luger, whispers something to the Giant, leaves his bat. The NWO send Nick Patrick and Syxx out. Luger low blows the Giant and beats him with a baseball bat, pins him, and gets the win. 2.5 stars. So not a bad match, but not that good, but not that bad. So it's time for the main event. A match that, even though most fans had seen it in 1984, and these two guys were in the main event of the very first WrestleMania, the one in 84 never had a clean finish. So they billed this as the match of the decade or the match of the century, as it's Hollywood Hulk Hogan versus Rowdy Roddy Piper, not for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, just a basic non-title match. Okay match here, 3 stars. Piper wins with the sleeper and all that. Piper would get a shot at Hogan for the championship at Super Brawl, and all that. So, if you're going to build a match like the match of the century, I think it needs to live up to its hype, and I don't necessarily think this match lives up to its hype. It's a good match, but it's not a match that I myself would ever call the match of the decade, of the entire decade of the 90s. I think there's better matches in the 90s that you can make an argument for than this match. Especially since this is a match that technically most people saw in 1984. And, in a way, in the first WrestleMania in 85. But that's WCW's logic. But still a good match. It's 3 stars. So our total stars is 18 out of a possible 40. Now, if you consider that 50% of the total star rating would be 20, this is right outside of it. So this show is a C- show. So, actually, it's one of the better Starrcades, actually. Next in the series is Starrcade 1997, which we all know is a somewhat infamous Starrcade, in a way, or a famous Starrcade. Because it's a culmination of a year-long angle with Sting, and they built this whole angle up for the Starrcade of Sting and Hogan. And I'll get to that. That probably won't be up till after New Year's Day, though. It took me a while just to get this video up, because I've been back since last Saturday, but I didn't watch this show till yesterday, and I was busy a lot to actually, you know, do this vid. So Starrcade 97's next in this review series, and then after that I only have 3 Starrcades left to watch. Probably the 3 worst Starrcades I'm probably gonna watch, but I'll get to that when I get to them. So if you like the video, hit the like button down there, hit the subscribe button down there. If you want to, leave a comment, and thank you for watching. This will be in the Starrcade Review playlist, Starrcade Review Series playlist, and thank you for watching. Bye.